Oh, y'all, I feel just extremely disaffected this morning, okay? Because it started off with the Shiva just being a violent asshole towards me, and let me tell you, I'm not trying to be creepy here, I'm just trying to show you, he already attacked me, okay? Had dropped some fucking stuff on me. Sorry, these are blueberry stains on my fingers, but, okay? Two spots. Two spots, okay? Two spots. Try to understand that Shiva is a deep state poop stain. He deals with things like weaponized insects, okay? Two spots. So it acts kind of like poison ivy, but it's these freaking bugs that he had attack me the other day. Okay, so anyways, I've just had people nonstop harassing me over the boxes. And guys, I want you all to understand that I already recognize that it's like whatever I send to people is just going to make everybody more upset and probably bitter towards me because nobody has any sense of gratitude. It's just everybody has a sense of entitlement. Okay? We have tens of thousands of people working on this. And a whole lot of people have given a whole lot. And I understand that. It's not like it's just me sacrificing here. Okay? But I just want people to calm down, please. So, I've also had people bothering me for commentary on this situation with Mr. Prigozhin. And all I'm going to say is he really desperately seemed to want his name written in the sky, and so now it is. Okay. Everyone is like, well, what do we want to do about this? And I understand that some of you are under pressure to decide how to paint the optics around this. And the thing is that it hasn't really been decided. Okay. And I'm really frustrated because I feel like there's still a lot of not just comprehension, but understanding that needs to be developed here. Okay. I'm not going to post the old map because I feel like it's not necessarily the best reflection because, again, I'm not wanting anybody to be too greedy. Mr. Prigozhin is greedy. Okay? He doesn't understand what's going on here. He refuses to accept what's going on here. So, Mr. Prigozhin, although I spoke to you on this Western Odessa situation and about how it is going to become a part of Moldova, okay, and how this is our fee, my fee, and my people's fee. I want you to understand that I myself, personally, have never been to Moldova. I have never met anybody from Moldova, okay? I'm not doing this for Moldova, okay? I'm doing this for my people. Because if this doesn't become Moldova, there's going to be a lot of bad situations, and eventually a whole lot of people are going to die. And it's not acceptable to me. Okay? Try to understand that one of my old roommates, flatmates, she was also a roommate, we shared a room. Okay? She's from Romania. I really liked her. She's my only impression of Romania. And she's pretty great, but also, Romania has an interest in that they don't want to be excursed upon and they don't want their people to die. And so the way for me and my people to keep our people from dying and to keep Romania's people from dying is this is going to be Moldova. And it just is what it is, and it's not negotiable. Okay? I don't give a shit about what sort of legacy you want for yourself, Mr. Greedy Man Prigozhin. Okay? So now try to understand that when I say that this is not negotiable, a whole lot of other stuff has already been self-negotiated, and maybe no one has filled you in. Okay? And I'm sorry that the way things are is that a lot of people, they don't talk because a whole lot of people will always assume that somebody else did the talking too. Okay? Or certain things can't be said because of classification reasons. So now try to understand that, like a lot of these countries, okay, more over yonder, okay, the bureaucrats of Poland are largely, a whole lot of them, are a bunch of filthy seditionists. I regard them with an extraordinary amount of derision, which you may as well. However, also try to understand that another one of my roommates, her father was like a general in the Polish army, okay? And I have nothing against the Polish generals, who largely want to look after their country's interests, as they should. Okay? So, you think that you can make a bigger name for yourself by fucking with Poland, and not just with mere optics, but actually fucking with Poland. And the answer is that no, you cannot, because if you do that, some of my people are going to get killed, which, as I have outlined, is not acceptable. Okay? If you do that, and we have to send the 101st over to Poland, and a single one of my men dies, because understand, my standards are different from yours. If you fuck with Poland and a single one of my men dies, okay, we got the Wailing Wall and the so-called Temple Mount. They're going to get it. So understand that even some of the people that don't care about whether or not our men are turned into blood sacrifices to Moloch, they're trying to protect Temple Mount and the so-called Wailing Wall. Okay? The so-called Temple Mount and the so-called Wailing Wall. And this is why you're dead right now, Mr. Prigozhin. Is because you got too greedy. And because my standards are different from yours. And because as much as I rail against the psychopaths, okay, try to understand that my people, they are psychopaths. And I want the Wailing Wall to get it, Mr. Prigozhin. Okay? And a lot of people know that. And that's why some people have participated in declaring you dead. So there's just this very deep lack of understanding here of all sorts of things, because Poland's not happy with me. Basically, everybody is a little bit unhappy with me. Most people. Okay, at least a little bit. Poland is a little bit unhappy because, as I've said, the goal here, okay, aside from taking a land bridge to conjoin with Transnistria, okay, because again, this is going to be kind of like a little swap. It's like a trade situation that helps protect everybody. This is not just for Moldova. I do hope that it will significantly benefit their people, okay? However, this is not really just about Moldova. It's about everybody. It's about helping make sure that everybody can win. Because we have a situation where either just about everybody can win or just about everybody can lose. Okay? So, land bridge to Transnistria, Moldova. Okay? So, it's difficult. It gets real sketchy up here. Now, when I say that some borders are going to have to get contested on the ground. I do not mean all these people, Mr. Prigozhin, except for apparently you. Understand that I'm not talking about people killing each other. I'm talking about putting boots on the ground and occupying space so that their seditionist bureaucrats don't really have a whole lot of choice. Okay, I'm talking about the generals deciding amongst themselves how they want to draw certain borders and then just occupying those spaces and then basically compelling their little filthy seditionist bureaucrats to come along. I'm not saying that all of the bureaucrats are seditionists, but enough of them are that is something that the generals have to keep in mind. Okay, so now I don't think Moldova should necessarily get greedy because again they don't even have much of a military, so I don't think they're really going to be able to take anything up here. I think they should be happy with Western Odessa. Okay, now just because none of this is going to Romania, none of this is allowed to go to Romania. Okay, this is just going to be a clean line, boom, coming down, right through here, boom, okay, clean, nice and clean, including for the people that have property. Because try to understand, Mr. Prigozhin, I care about how the lines are drawn, and everybody understands that. I don't like people having barbed wire put through the middle of their yards that they need to grow food in, to support themselves, etc., etc., etc. Okay? I like nice, clean lines whenever possible that really gives a lot of consideration to the people that it's impacting. Okay? It's just better for everybody if people just listen. Okay? So now, Poland is not really happy with me because, I think if Slovakia wants to carve out a little chunk, okay, I think if Hungary wants to carve out a little chunk, if Romania wants to carve out a little chunk, okay, I know I'm calling them little and they're not really little, but you get the point. This here, it has to get contested on the ground. This here has to get contested on the ground. Okay? Understand that even if the bureaucrats make all the decisions ahead of time on where the lines are going to go, okay, that they still have to, the generals still have to paint the optics. But the thing is the generals know they can't count on their bureaucrats to look after their own country's interests in some cases. Okay? So, again, part of the reason, well, there's a whole lot of reasons why you're in Belarus. Okay? But there's a situation in that we don't want Poland abutting up against here. So Belarus doesn't even necessarily want a whole ton of territory, okay? So understand that this isn't even about Belarus. This is about just making sure that everybody can win and have some sort of sustainable peace without the worldwide criminal cult mafia that you are linked to from a heritage perspective, okay? It's a fraudulent cult, Mr. Prigozhin, but I understand that your loyalties are more complex, okay? So, this carve out, when Belarus comes and takes the buffer zone, Mr. Prigozhin, which is what we need your help with, okay? This is to protect everybody. It's to protect everybody. This isn't about, again, you wanted your name written in the sky. Okay? And so now it is. And if you don't want to develop some understanding with us, it will stay that way. I don't care how long people need to make you sweat, Mr. Prigozhin, even though the optics get a little bit trickier to unkill you. The longer it waits, but I don't really care about that. What I care about is not about people's short-term discomfort, but I care about sustainable peace in this full partitioning of failed state Ukraine, okay? Which is called zero state solution. Okay? I cannot allow there to be a rump state, which is what a whole lot of people want. They want just a little rump state that they're going to call so-called New Khazaria. Or some people even want to call it New Jerusalem, Mr. Prigozhin, and try to understand how absurdly unacceptable that is. Okay, so there is not to be any rump state left. It is to be zero state solution. Full partitioning, zero state solutioning process, Mr. Prigozhin. So you can either accept having your name written in the sky from a legacy viewpoint by helping us situate our central buffer zone for Belarus in a way that is not killing men. Okay? Because this is not just about the blood of your men. It's not just about the blood of Poland's men. It's about the blood of my men too, Mr. Prigozhin. Because if you want to get what's called fucking retarded, then my men have to move in there, and it's not good. Because my standards, again, are very different. And when I say that if any blood of any of my men is spilled, any of it, I mean it. Okay? There's going to be severe consequences if that happens. So try to understand that the reason why you're dead right now isn't just because it's not. Try to understand that I'm a deeply loathed person, Mr. Prigozhin. You're not dead so much out of support for me and the lines I've drawn here. You're dead because people are trying to protect this so-called Israel, so-called Wailing Wall, this so-called Temple Mount, okay? I just desperately want a glass, Mr. Prigozhin. Okay, this is part of why I'm like a little bit upset. I'm not entirely pleased at this situation, okay? Because try to understand that I'm what's called a bitch. And I would have almost liked for you to do something really stupid so that we could glass something that I really don't like. Okay? So if I'd had my way, that's what would have happened. Okay? The Temple Mount would not exist anymore soon, shortly, after you went full retard. So people are trying to protect those things. And then some people are trying to protect our men. So you get to choose on if this is enough legacy for you to be somebody who helps enable this full partitioning process to go off more smoothly. Okay, because if you do that, it's going to save a whole lot of lives. If you don't want to participate, we'll continue to work it out in some other way to the best of our ability. And you'll just stay dead. Okay? So now this video is already at almost 19 minutes because I'm not really feeling like being short and concise. Okay, this is not, your goal here is not to deny Poland as much territory as possible, despite whatever the oligarchs tell you. Okay? They need to understand that you're just going to stay dead. Quote unquote dead. If you try to do certain things. And then you're not going to be helping anybody. Your goal here is not to deny Poland as much territory as possible. And it sure as hell is not to try to take any Polish territory. The goal is to help negotiate this central buffer zone, okay, that Belarus needs to take somewhere, okay? I need a Belarusian central buffer zone with a border that looks good, okay? I'm a person that does like aesthetics, so I don't know. If Poland has to be denied some territory over there, they're just going to have to accept that it's for the demarcation for the people in the region and for the aesthetics. Okay? So you gotta figure it out. You either want to be a part of this, or your name is gonna stay written in the sky in the fashion that it is right now. Okay? Because I'm not a person who appreciates bullshit. Okay? And what you're trying to start is what I call fucking bullshit. Okay? No fucking bullshit, Mr. Prigozhin. Optics. Optics for a very distinct purpose. Okay? I want everybody, except for this supposed New Khazaria crowd, I want everybody else to win. Okay? I've already had to lay it out. Some of these same people that set you up, they already know that I said this wasn't negotiable. They already knew it. And they already know that I told them not to be a bunch of greedy fucks. Okay? Understand that some of those people, they don't care if you get dead for real, Mr. Prigozhin. But don't bother listening to those people, because this is what's up. You can either participate in a way that helps the operation, or you're just going to stay dead, okay? Goodbye.